Hello and welcome back to the Art of Reduction here at Trailway Studios. Today we have a great haircut for you. We're doing a big transformation. It's one of my favorite clients. It's my dad. Rick, come on over today. It's good to see you, buddy.
Hi.
Let's take a seat here. So my dad did us a favor. He grew out his hair and his beard, so we have a nice transformation today. He likes a longer beard. He's trying to look like ZZ Top, he said. So that's the vision today. Make this guy look like the guys from ZZ Top. So if they come in with a hoodie or something and they don't want to take it off, I just encourage to really kind of tuck that down to get a nice, clean, opportunity to kind of look at the neck. But we could tell he has quite a bit of hair going on today. So we're going to dive right in today and just talk about why transformation haircuts, I believe, are so important. Sometimes you see a guy walk in and it looks like he just came off the mountain and you're just like, geez, like what? Why did this guy wait so long? That's not how you should think about it. I really look at it as an opportunity to really kind of show off my skills. And more importantly, when this guy goes back to his peer groups or his job or his family, it's going to get a big attention. So this is what I look at as an opportunity when guys like this come in, growing their hair out for months at a time. Yes, it might be a little bit more work at the shop. I understand that. But it's all about our perspective on things. And to me, like I said, I look at it as an opportunity to really show off my skills. So I'm going to go ahead and start kind of prepping his hair for us. You know how I like to kind of pin up the hair and kind of get some of this hair out of the way so it could focus on the haircut. Today I'm going to be using the Nurplenish by Aveda today. And it's just a nice kind of leave-in conditioner. My dad has really soft hair, so this is just kind of nice to help with any kind of detangling, especially since he has a lot of hair on him right now. So I'm going to go through and just spray an ample amount of this product just to kind of make it easier for me to work my comb and do my sectioning out on my client. So like I said, I really do enjoy cutting long kind of transformational haircuts, and we're really going to dive in today. More important, he has a nice kind of silver hair. He has good hair for a 68-year-old guy, and to me, he looks like he's 50. So we're going to really make him kind of pop today, and he's single, so if there's any older ladies out there that want my dad's number, you call me. We'll get you guys hooked up, okay? So he naturally has a part. He likes to wear a little bit of a bang, so it's kind of fallen down. He has so much hair now that you can't really tell that. So let's go ahead and just start positioning this hair for us to be successful at this haircut. So I just kind of naturally parted him because that's where we're going to do our fade. And I'm going to kind of pin up this hair real quick. I'll kind of show you what I'm working with. Again, just kind of following a natural horseshoe shape with him today. Really are going to focus on taking a lot of this hair off the back and sides. As you get older, the back and sides continue to kind of grow the same. It's the top of the hair that I think kind of slows down a little bit as we age as gentlemen. So really, you could tell how much more hair he has back here in the back and then set up on top. So we're going to lose quite a bit more hair through the back and the sides than we are at the top. But I do want to focus on this hair first. I'm going to be pretty aggressive today. So I'm going to use my paddle comb right here. Today we're going to focus on using the Panasonic clippers today. I love these things. They've been around for a long time. Babyliss used to make them, and they discontinued them, but it looked like Panasonic must have bought the design. You could get these on Amazon. They're the Panasonic's ER1511s. So we're going to kind of start in the back. I like to start in the back, especially on big haircuts, just to give me a little bit of wiggle room. So we're going to be pretty aggressive with this haircut today. So I'm going to start really ripping off this hair. My dad has a fairly unique head shape back here. Has a lot of ridges, a lot of kind of different growth patterns. So I really just want to start really kind of seeing this haircut a little bit more. So as I go through here, I'm just going to start really reducing the length of this cut so I could really kind of see the shape of this head, shape of his haircut, the way his hair wants to grow. With this much hair, it really has a mind of its own right now. So, and he wants to keep the beard long, like I said. He's trying to look like ZZ Top. So we're going to make him look like a rock star today. But the way to kind of make up time with these clients coming in here with a lot of hair really is to try to reduce the bulk as quick as possible. I'm actually going to add a little bit more water too. His hair really kind of soaks up. It's pretty porous, so it's soaking up a lot of water. I just want to kind of feel if it's just real fluffy, it's really hard for me to kind of see, and it just kind of, it flies away on me really quickly. So his hair kind of grows back naturally, so I want to kind of go with this real quick. So I'm going to just start really dwindling this down. And like I said, this is where I get to kind of catch my time up, is this aspect. It's really kind of blowing out a lot of this hair that we're not even going to use in his haircut, and really getting down to the meat and potatoes of the hair we are actually going to use for this haircut. And I could even try to create most of the shape with this clipper over comb action. So let's go ahead, kind of tighten up that sideburn a little bit. Let's go ahead and really kind of clean up this around the curvature of his ear. Again, I'm gonna go back through this, doing a clipper cut on him, but really I just want to kind of start seeing this shape as quick as possible. Okay, so let's add some more water. Again, whatever we do to one side, let's do to the other. Now his hair is kind of growing back this way, guys. So I'm gonna follow that hair, the way it flows, the way it grows. And really, I'm doing all this before I even jump on any guard. Just really ripping down this hair to really start seeing the shape of it, so I could really kind of start seeing where my guards need to go. I assume right now, just naturally looking at his haircut, I'm gonna do probably a 4.5 guard all the way down to a 1 guard, and then keep some energy on top, because like I said, he likes it a little longer on top, keeps kind of a classic bang on him, and he's actually really picky. So as much as he doesn't look picky, especially guys when they come in with really long hair and a wild beard, like, we can't assume they don't care about how they look. You know, that's just not fair of us to think. And so even though he kind of came in with some wild hair, doesn't mean he's not going to want something particular when he leaves your chair. So that's why it's nice to have a nice little consultation before we start our process, and know what our client wants really before we even kind of start tapping into this haircut. So again, I can't thank you guys for watching over the last year. We've had great success. I can't thank Henry Malone and Malone Media for all the hard work and hours at night putting this together for us. And I really appreciate every one of you guys for chiming in. And I just hope that this channel really helps you guys just become confident behind the chair, gets to make you guys some money. And more importantly, if we could just make this world a better place through hair cutting, I just think that would be awesome. So I'm gonna go back and just kind of hit them again with our Replenish. It's again just a classic leave-in conditioner. It's gonna soften up this haircut. And already, the haircut already looks so much better just by a little bit of clipper work. So what I wanna do is I'm actually gonna scissor, I'm gonna kind of 2 haircuts in one. From about here down, classic clipper cut. I'm thinking 4.5 guard, 4 guard, 3.5 guard, 3 guard, 2.5 guard, 2 guard, 1.5 guard, 1 guard into our kind of what we call an hourglass. This is going to be the tightest part of the haircut in the beard, and then we're going to usher into the beard after we get done with the haircut. I kind of do both. Sometimes I like to work on the haircut and the beard at the same time, but with today's video, we're just going to focus on haircut first, and then we're going to transition into the beard. So I'm going to do a pretty, again, he has you can't tell, but he has some pretty unique growth patterns. He has a lot of ridges back here. So I'm going to be careful. I'm going to kind of work my way down. So I'm going to start with my 4 guard first, and I'm going to work all the way down to my 1 guard, maybe a no guard. So I'm going to keep my 4 guard closed, and I'm going to just start from the very bottom of his nape, and I'm going to start working up. And you can kind of tell his hair's a little darker at the very bottom, kind of gets lighter as we move up. Sometimes that could kind of make your brain kind of be like, oh man, what's going on with that? Is that fade correct? Is that looking right? You know, we just have to work with what we got. So don't think too much into it at first. We'll make this all look really nice, and it will be nice and smooth and have a nice transition as that fade works down. And most importantly, guys, I'm really just kind of watching which way his hair grows. A lot of this is going to be scissor work up top. Like I said, kind of 2 haircuts in one, doing clipper work kind of low in this cut, and then working our way up to scissor work. And really in 2024, I feel like that's the majority of the cuts we're doing these days. How are we creating nice barber sides and then really beautiful cosmetology tops? So if you're a barber out there really only comfortable with clippers and razors. That's awesome. Proud of you. I do encourage you to grab some shears and some scissors and kind of work out your game there. And if you're a cosmetologist who are really great with just shears and scissors, I encourage you to jump on your clippers and your razor and really start to try to figure that out so we can start putting these two haircuts together, put the two trades together, and really start busting out some really beautiful haircuts. So this is a 4-guard completely closed, working it up to about the occipital bone, and after that I will start working with scissors all the way up, listening to that hair, pushing that hair in the direction I want it to go. Again, since he has kind of soft, wispy hair, I need to leave a little bit of weight through this for it to sit down on him and kind of flow into this tighter hair. If we go too short, too high, it's going to kind of stick out on him, and I don't want that for him. So that was my 5-guard action. I'm sorry. Now I'm going to jump on my 4-guard. I'm going to open it up all the way, and I'm just going to meet it right underneath that 5-guard that we had completely closed. And that's going to kind of create our transition. 5-guard closed, and then we're going to put a 4-guard open, and then I'm going to slowly dwindle it down all the way to a closed 4-guard. Then I'm going to jump on a 3-guard open. I'm going to slowly dwindle it down to a 3-guard closed. 2-guard open, slowly dwindle it down to a 2-guard closed. 1.5-guard open to close. 1-guard open to close. So that's kind of my transition as I move through this haircut. And the trick is with every guard I use, I'm going to just come lower and lower and lower in this fade. So as I continue cutting this hair, it's already starting to look really good. I could already tell that he's going to feel better and look good, and my sister and mom won't be jumping on my case to cut my dad's hair. So I'm already telling myself that this is going to be awesome and feel good, make him look like a rock star. We have a couple weddings coming up that we're going together. So, it's just important to kind of think of others too. If you're going to be in pictures on important dates, important life situations with family and friends, to me, it's a respect thing to kind of have nice kept hair, even though mine looks a little crazy. I'll be getting a haircut soon. But like I said, it's not always it is always about you, but it's also important to kind of think of others, especially if you're going to weddings or birthday parties or retirement parties, and there's going to be photographers and photographers. So as I move through this, I'm loving that. Dropping off my 4-guard, jumping on a 3-guard, opening it all the way up. And now my main objective is just come right below that closed 4-guard. Make sure I'm kind of curving around the ear using the toe, using the heel. I'm going to have you look down a little bit, Dad. Thank you, sir. His hair, and then as I get to about a 3-guard, I could really start to see which way his hair is growing, and I'm going to start attacking into that hair. So his hair kind of grows down at an angle, kind of kicks in right here. So as long as I'm watching which way that hair grows and I'm attacking right into it, it should be a really nice cut and an even cut. So let's go ahead and keep working down this back. Closing this guard tighter and tighter until I get completely closed. Watching which way his hair grows. Attack. I'm going to open it back up because now I'm going to work on the side a little bit. Thank you, Dad. Look up. Make sure our comb's nice and clean. His hair kind of naturally kind of kicks around his ear a little bit. I'm going to slowly close my guard down, get a little tighter. A little tighter. Okay, I'm going to swing them back around. I have it all the way tight right now, clean up the back end. Now I'm opening it back up. Now I'm on this other side, pushing that hair in the direction I think it wants to grow. So it grows out nicer when he does decide to grow his hair back out. Being patient, closing it all the way tight now. Working around the ear. All the way tight. Okay, let's go ahead and blow them off real quick. Beautiful. Closing my 3-guard now, I believe. Jumping on my 2-guard. opening it all the way up again. And wherever you start the haircut, I encourage you, like that's my starting point. So I started in the back. So if you notice with each clipper guard that I move to, transition to, I'm kind of starting in the back and working my way forward. It's just a way to keep me in understanding of where I am with the haircut, and just knowing that again, like it kind of creates a system. I'm just trying to create a system to follow, guidelines to follow, a blueprint to follow. And if kind of just feel like if I start in the same place every time, it just keeps my brain kind of aware of where I'm at with the haircut. Because I think a lot of people, including myself, I could easily get lost in the sauce if I kind of don't continue to start my progression of my haircut, my fade, in the same place as I dwindle or move up or down guard sizes. So a nice little flick out here. I have it all the way open. I could hear hair being taken, so I want to be patient. All the way tight now. Keeping it nice and low on my dad. This hair kind of grows at a strong angle right there, so I need to really tilt that clipper coming down. Beautiful. Have it all the way tight, keeping it nice and low. My niece and his granddaughter is gonna love his new haircut. I can't wait for her to see that and see what Papa Rick looks like. And you know what? To be honest with you, I think cutting family's hair is pretty amazing. I don't know what, I cut a lot of people's hair, but when I am able to cut my brother-in-law or my dad or people like that, cousins, family, I don't know, it just kind of hits home, it's just an amazing opportunity to bless people that you love and really make them feel good about themselves and look good. And that's just should always be your goal, to better the world through a haircut. And that's through a good conversation, an uplifting conversation, just a beautiful haircut itself. I just think we forget how much power we have as a barber. I mean, we literally get to touch people in a positive way, literally taking weight off their shoulders where they feel lighter. There's just a lot of beautiful stuff that happens during a haircut. So I just encourage all of you to really take it serious if you are trying to get into the barbering game or the cosmetology game, and understand that this is an important job, and it's an amazing thing to create artwork and create lifelong friendships and relationships behind the chair. So again, now I think I'm on a 1.5. Yes, I'm on a 1.5. Have it open, and again, just working lower and lower and lower into this cut. Going around the ear. If you notice how much I'm expanding, I'm tilting that clipper guard. Because imagine if I didn't. Imagine if I took that one guard all the way through here. I'm ripping off all this hair I want to keep. So I'm really just using the first 2 or 3 teeth as I get tighter and tighter in this fade. And that's really allowing me to kind of pinpoint the tightness of this haircut and really kind of create a nice transition down. Even here, see how far I'm tilting up and just hitting the area I want. I'm not really diving in to that longer part of that haircut. I think that would just kind of take away from all the work I just did fading it down, and I don't want that. I need that hair. So I'm going to kind of backpedal a little bit right here, soften that look up, backpedaling. Now I'm kind of back on it. All the way closed now. Tilting that clipper out so I don't take too much hair off, keeping it nice and low, nice and soft. Backpedaling again, kind of blending that down. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm popping off my 1 guard, my 1.5, moving to my 1, all the way open, starting in my same position I did at the very beginning of this haircut. Again, tilting it out very aggressively. It's a very tight guard right here. It could take a lot of hair off if I don't want it to. So I just need to be patient, be safe with it. So far this is looking really good. I'm loving it. A little tighter. Backpedaling the whole time through here. Back to a normal cut. I could hear hair being taken, so let's just be patient for a second. All the way tight now. Nice tilted out. I'm gonna tilt his head. Don't be afraid to move their head and neck around so you could get a really nice cut on your people. And number one, like I said, just showing control, showing this client that you're in control through your motions, through the tone of your voice, to the way you position them. All it does is it really creates a comfortable vibe. Like when they realize that you're in complete control of your surroundings, of your movement, you know exactly what you're doing. We gave them a blueprint. We told them what we're going to do. We're confident in our decisions. That's when the service really is capable. They're able to enjoy that service a lot more because they trust you. They understand what's going on. They know what the final outcome should look like. And they get to relax now. They don't have to worry about anything else besides just sitting still, having a nice conversation with you while you do your job. And I just think that's why it's important to have a nice consultation, and more importantly, to show control and show confidence as a stylist too, especially your new clients. People have never been to you before, never been to your shop. I think it's just so important to really make them feel comfortable in your chair. And that's when really, like I said, it's about making them relaxed and making them be able to think elsewhere instead of like what exactly is going on, behind their head as you do all these different clipper guards and transitions and tools and smells. Like they don't need to really worry about that kind of stuff. That's your job to worry about it. So I'm already all the way tight with this guard. I'm gonna do a little tiger paw at the very bottom of this. Okay, so why not? Let's just finish it off. Let's go no guard, all the way open. I'm gonna sit real low on his neckline, using just the toe or the heel. I'm not trying to make any more lines. Let's just clean this up all the way around. Little tiger paw again at the very bottom. I'm not trying to put too much pressure because this technique kind of has a little scrapey feeling. If your blades are kind of uneven on your clipper or anything like that, it can kind of irritate a little bit. And that's just one thing I've been really trying hard not to do, is just irritate the skin of my clients, making it red. But when you're doing a lot of detail work and doing a lot of swipes, like it's bound to happen. So don't beat yourself up too much. But if we could try to eliminate it as much as possible, that's great. So all the way tight now, just hitting that last part of that hourglass area. Right here is the tightest. It's going to get longer from here. Tightest. It's going to get longer as we move down. Kind of creates a little hourglass look. Whatever you do to one side, let's do to the other. I'm a big fan of trying to just mark off boxes. So here in a second, we'll do a quick lineup on him, get this foundation nice and clean on him, and then we're able to advance up the haircut from there. I feel like it's hard to put a roof on a house if we don't have a nice foundation. And if we move ahead of ourselves too quickly, who knows, we might forget to really clean up that foundation or lose time or energy. So the quicker we could get a nice foundation on this cut, the better. So here in a second, I am going to put all the way tight now, hitting that hourglass nice and clean. Okay, so I'm going to put that down. I'm going to go ahead and blow them off real quick. Dad, you doing good?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit them with a little bit of air control. Anytime I do any kind of neckline work, I like to use a little lightweight hairspray. Again, I think it just adds a little bit of tack, gives my trimmer something more to grab onto, especially with him having nice, fine, kind of gray hair. So from there, I am today going to use again my Tori Hanzo trimmers. And I think if you followed me enough, you know where I like to start. And I like to start at the very kind of back of this ear. So I'm going to flip this ear down. I'm going to just kind of naturally look at the shape of his skull. And I'm going to start carving out that look I want. Using just the toe, I'm going to come all the way to the top of this ear. Feel free to switch and kind of come back down a little bit. And then I'm going to come to the front of the ear and just meet where I just ended up at the top. Again, let's move some of this hair out of the way. Clean, clean, clean. Why not kind of do a little ear detail while we're here? I got the tool. I'm already around the ear. So let's get the back end of this ear. Let's get the earlobe, any hair on the inside of his ear. Perfect. Like I said, I'm not really trying to work on the beard too much, but I am going to draw this line. Imagine when we're coming down, we either want to come straight down or we want to kind of tilt back. We never want to come forward. So I'm going to go ahead and just tap a line in real quick. Again, I want it coming straight down. I don't want it coming forward on him. Okay, so from here now, I'm going to make my bar coming down. Now I could flip my trimmer, make this line a little bit more pronounced. And I'm just coming straight down at first. I'm not trying to round in or anything. I'm just coming straight down off his neck. So just follow that natural line that we just made. We could go back and forth, get it nice and clean if we want right now. Kind of clean up the back end of the ear again. Clean up this open space right here. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and do the other side. So as I flip over, I'm going to start in the same position. I'm going to tilt his head. I'm flipping that ear. And then I'm just trying to capture just that natural look. What a good thing to do is just kind of, you could push the ear back, and wherever that ear kind of sits is like their natural line. His doesn't need to go up that high. So I'm going to kind of change it up. I guess the more importantly is don't go any higher than that. You could go lower than that, but we don't want to go higher than where that ear is. It's going to look like a white wall. We don't want that, I promise you. So again, I'm kind of coming up and always meeting at the top of this, creating a nice line. Perfect. I think I'm loving the new lights, by the way, Henry. I'm loving it. This is some top-notch shit right here, buddy. So I am now from there. Remember, I kind of like to clean up the earlobe, side the ear. I'm going to go ahead and just push this beard out of the way real quick. Just use my comb. And again, I'm going to just try to drop a line coming straight, kind of kick back just a little bit. That nice and soft. Perfect. Now from here, I'm going to follow this line a little bit more. If you notice, like I always have a pivot finger. I always have one of my fingers that looks like this when I'm holding it. Either I could bend it so I could get a little closer, or my middle finger, it's kind of like able to move my ear around. But most importantly, it's like I'm never just coming in with a tool. Never am I doing that. I always want to touch him first with my finger and then bring the tool with it. I just think it's a way for them not to flinch. They kind of they could get prepared for it, and I'm not scaring them. And more importantly, I just don't want them to flinch. If I just kind of, especially I always want the tool kind of on as I come into it. I don't want to like, you know what I mean? I'll kind of scare them a little bit. So again, main objective is create insurance for yourself that we don't accidentally do something where they move kind of quickly on you and we accidentally do something silly and take some hair off that we don't want to take. So just kind of touching this up, kind of do a little rocking, kind of a pirate ship situation where I just slowly kind of rock back and forth. And all I'm doing is just kind of bringing those two lines together. His hair is a little fine in this corner, so I might actually try to fade this out just a little bit more. I could always kind of go back with my trimmer over comb. And that's what's nice about having all these different arsenals, all these different, it's like you going to war. Every haircut to me, I'm going to war, and I don't know what my enemy is bringing to me. I don't know if we're going to be doing guerrilla warfare, if we're going to be fighting in the sky, if we need a navy here. Like, I don't know. So that's why it's nice to have all these different kind of weapons to take on these haircuts and these different techniques, because there's just so much different hair out there right now in this world. And I think that's what makes barbering so much fun, is as cultures and everyone kind of starts to mingle, we're getting so much beautiful different types of hair. So it's very important to kind of know all these different techniques, so every client that walks in the door, we feel confident that we could do something about it. So I already have my tool to do it. He has some hair on his nose, right? I know we're not to the beard yet, but I want to clean up his nose. I want to clean up his eyebrows. The quicker I could really start to make my client look different and feel different, it just feels good. I can start seeing, I get excited, you know what I mean? So I'm going to just kind of clean up the nose real quick, just the top of it. Whatever side you're on, I kind of cut his head and his face down the middle. So if I'm working on this side, I'm here. So I'm going to go ahead and just use my paddle brush again, or my paddle comb. I'm going to take off some of this weight on the eyebrows. Again, I'm going to do the beard separate. I'm going to kind of clean up his C-cup a little bit here. Push. I like to push when I get to the frame of this face. Kind of makes it nice. You could draw with the trimmer and kind of create that shape. But if you really want to kind of dial it in, we're going to push. We're going to push. Nice soft touches. Okay, whatever you do to one side, let's go do to the other. Now I'm over here, working on the nose a little bit. Unibrow. The eyebrows usually grow this way and this way, so I don't really want to come against it. I want to work with it. So again, I'm going to kind of bring it now towards me here. Very sensitive spot of the face, so just be careful. He's in control. He's not jerking around. He's not moving around, so I feel comfortable getting this job done. Okay, let's go ahead and clean up this C shape real quick. Again, our main objective, I want him to look and feel as symmetrical as possible. There's beauty in creating something symmetrical, and if we could really kind of create that with illusion, with the hair and everything even, I just think that's pretty magical. So again, just kind of cleaning up the bar, clean up the C shape. Again, we're going to work on the beard last. Clean up the nose. Clean up this bar again. Beautiful. So that to me is looking like a nice. Let's go ahead and pop off the neck real quick. Let's blow them off again. I'm going to use my feather razor. It's a brand new feather razor. And I'm just going to kind of clean up the neck. I'm going to hit him with a little bit of air control. And I like to use my blow dryer and kind of blow away from his shirt collar so that hair goes out and not down. Lucky for us Andrews, we don't have too much back hair, so that was pretty light work. Let's drape him back up. Okay. So I might go back through and kind of clean stuff up as I work on the beard, but let's really kind of focus on this halo part of his head. and we're going to kind of transition into our scissor work. So let's go ahead and just make sure that our parts are nice and even. Let's go ahead and add another clip. Okay, I'm going to kind of comb. I'm going to add a little bit of water here in a second. Best thing to do when scissor work is water's your best friend. It's kind of a temporary product, kind of holds that hair where it naturally wants to go if you did put product in it, but it's not hard for you to comb through and manipulate as you do your scissor work. So let's go ahead and get this. And this hair is slightly unique. So on this side, you can kind of see it just with the color. It grows this way, okay? If I would want to kind of go back with it, that's fine. I mean, but you're really gonna run into a problem of it being real heavy through here. Look how much heavier that looks. But if we go forward, see how much more kind of pretty and smooth that already looks. Like, why fight it? So I'm not gonna try to fight that at all. So as we move back down to here, pretty classic. His hair still just kind of naturally has a small little curvature towards his left. And so does all the way. So the whole time this hair is just kind of naturally kicking back. So I'm going to use my Ettore Hanzo swivel thumbs today. I'm going to use the fine part of my 7-inch comb. I started the fade off in the back, so I'm going to start my scissor work off in the back. I'm going to grab, and I'm going to use this down here is my guideline. Straight up. I'm going to take nice small little sections, guideline, straight up. Cutting off those corners. And I'm going to follow the same trend all the way around. Watching where it's thick. Being patient, being picky with yourself. And I'm gonna follow this all the way around. I'm not really grabbing the hair up top yet. I'm gonna focus on that separately. Just really focusing on that transition from that fade into my scissor work now. All the way around, and I'll show you what I do, how to cross check here in a second, which will make this really kind of blend out. So I'm just trying to go for those heavy corners. When I get kind of this way, I'm going to kind of tilt his head a little bit. I'm going to come up and around because his hair is really kind of curving in at me now. So I want to play with that. Don't want to play against it. If you want to, I like to do a lot of scissor over comb. So I could kind of come back here. Scissor over comb, scissor over comb. Beautiful. Point cut, point cut, point cut. Back to scissor over comb. I'm kind of making it a little shorter up front. You know, I want some energy back here, and I want it just to kind of almost kind of fade into the front of his face. Make him look a little bit sleeker. Point cut. Just go ahead. Keep dwindling down some of this length. A little shorter as I get closer to the front. Point cutting. Let's go back and kind of cross check, see if there's any hairs sticking out a little all willy-nilly. There we go. Point cut, point cut, point cut. Okay, so now we're going to come back over here. And I'm really going to kind of probably do the same thing. I'm going to do a lot of scissor over comb, and I'm going to direct back on him today. So directing the hair in its natural growth pattern is going to really ensure that this haircut grows out nice. I'm not fighting anything. And don't get me wrong, I mean, there's some haircuts that we do kind of have to push it around a little bit and kind of force it to do some things. But if we could really create a haircut where we don't have to fight it at all and really let that natural growth pattern kind of take hold, to me, that just is the ticket. You know, I really, at that moment, you're kind of redoing what God created on him and the way, you know, the universe wanted his hair to grow. And we're not fighting it, but we're enhancing it, kind of getting it back to its original shape and its real growth pattern. And to me, I feel like everyone has their haircut, meaning like their hair wants to do one thing. You know, it wants to do this one thing. And yes, you could kind of, like I said, push it around a little bit. But if we could really just kind of focus on what that hair really wants to do and drop that haircut on that shape, that natural shape that his hair wants to do, it usually is just the best haircut for your client. Like, I know it's kind of weird, and maybe some of you are like, oh, that's pretty limiting to your people, but not when their haircut lasts for 6 weeks and they're paying top dollar for a haircut and their haircut looks good, you know, 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks from now, and not just 1 or 2 weeks. Like, to me, I'm doing them a favor. You know, they're not having to come to my shop every 2 weeks to get something touched up because we're forcing his hair to do something that it just doesn't want to do. So that's just my little rant on why I think it's important to maybe really kind of find what their hair wants to do and work with it as much as possible. And, you know, and then from there, if your client says, you know what, screw that, I want to come every week to get that cowlick fixed or that shape fixed because I want it to look a certain way, then fine, that's fine. But just make sure that you're getting charged and you're paying for that. You know, I feel like anytime you bust out scissors, it's not a cleanup anymore. It's an actual haircut. So to me, this is starting to look really, really good, and I feel confident that my dad's gonna like it, and I'm gonna kind of move on to the top of his hair, and we'll kind of continue this haircut. So I feel really good with the way this blend is with the scissor work into that clipper work. Now we're gonna start working up here. So if you know me, I really like cutting the bangs last. Like, for some reason, I just think it's like the one thing that your client will see as soon as they open their eyes. So we really want to make sure those bangs look extra good. So I'm going to add some water. Best way to find their bang with anybody is just put that comb flat on their head. And wherever that angle from that comb meets his head is where his natural bang is. So from there, I feel like it's right here. So I could just put my finger or my comb right there. I'm gonna come all the way over here. I'm gonna follow that line all the way over. And I'm gonna take that out. And I'm actually gonna just add just a little bit more hair. His hair's a little bit more fine up front. So I could come back just maybe 1/8 of an inch from his natural bang line. And I'm gonna keep that right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mark this off. Like this. Kind of get that out of his way so it's not poking him in his eyes, as we now focus on this back part of his hair. So if you look at his hair, he combs it over a little bit and he has like a little longer bang. So look how much energy is right here, okay? So I'm actually gonna do another part. I'm gonna take some of this hair right here, and now I'm actually gonna part this out of the way for a second. Clean this part up. Again, clean lines equals clean haircuts. So let's make sure our parting's nice and clean. And now I'm gonna focus on this hair right here for a little bit. And then I'll focus on the crown, and then I'll focus on the bangs. So let's go ahead and start blending this into some of that scissor work we just did. Grabbing my guideline way down here, coming up, grabbing my guideline here, taking off the corner, Taking off the corner. Coming back here where a little bit of this hair fell down. Corner. Corner. I'm going to start point cutting. Watching which way his hair grows. Take off that corner. Take off that corner. Little scissor over comb action right now. Point cutting. That's what I love about these swivel thumbs. Like my wrist gets to stay super straight, but my look how much angle I could get with that scissor and that swivel thumb, and my wrist stays completely straight. So really reducing the opportunity for me to get carpal tunnel later in life. And I'm really trying to do this for the rest of my life. This is the way I pay my bills. I take care of my wife and my family. So I want to be able to do this for a long time. So nice tools, nice shoes, nice comfortable environment that you work in, not hectic, not stressful. All those things add up in life. And if you could really kind of curate a perfect world for yourself, and you could create a good shop that you're working in and good clients that you're excited to see, it's going to really kind of create a long-lasting opportunity for you behind the chair. And that's another thing I want this show to kind of teach you guys is that, you know, if you're going to do it right, do it legit, and see where it takes you, because it will take you very far. So now that I kind of have that nice and cleaned up, I get to work on the top here. Let's go ahead and just kind of see what it looks like as I bring some of this over. Way more easier to me to work with now. I don't have so much hair. So let's go ahead and just kind of start in the most problematic area. I'm gonna kind of start right here real quick in this crown. Knock off that point. Again, his hair is getting finer up top, so I needed to be just a little bit calmer, a little bit more precise with it, because if I go too short, shit's going to start sticking up. It's going to be like alfalfa back here, and I really don't want that for my dad. So kind of watching this natural crown back here, watching which way it goes. Really looking good. So let's go ahead and start cutting up the crown. I'm going to grab right behind his bangs, and I'm going to direct over a little bit here, because there's more hair over here on this corner, so I'm going to direct. Again, he likes his hair a little bit longer on top, so I need to honor that for him and listen to him to an extent. Like, if it's like too long, it's like, okay, Rick, let's rethink this for a second. But if we could really make this look good and keep him happy and feeling confident with himself, you know, that's beautiful. So let's go ahead and just continue. All I'm really doing is finding corners. If I find a little corner, to me that's weight, that's heaviness. Nothing's blending with that. Let's get it out of there. So just being really patient, knocking off the heavy parts of this haircut. Following my guideline, really starting to look good, and I'm very, very, very happy with this so far. And I can't wait to really knock that beard down, usher it into this haircut, and really make him start to look top notch for our weddings coming up and our family at Easter. And this is something been looking forward to do for a long time on camera. So something I get to cherish my whole life. So this is very fun. So let's go ahead and just keep taking this off. Point cutting. I'm going to kind of show you where we're at now back here. Look how much better that's starting to look. A little heavy right here. But I need to be careful, because if I go too short, it's going to stick up. So let's just be patient. That looks good. One more just back here. Knocking off some of this corner work. Awesome. Okay. So now we just keep going. I'm gonna just be a little bit more into this. Okay. So with his bangs, I'm actually going to work from the front back. So I know I have it. If you look down, Dad, you can see where I'm sectioned off right here. So I'm actually going to come up front. I'm going to pull some hair from the front. Again, he likes his bangs kind of coming forward a little bit. And then I'm going to mark off this part of his bang. Boom. So I'm going to use his hair's nice and fine up here, so I need to use the tighter, the finer tooth comb of part of my comb. And I'm just going to draw a line. I want it out of his eyes a little bit. Kind of seeing where some of this is over here. Blending it into the side. Okay. I'm going to come back up. I'm going to grab just a little bit more. Just piece by piece. Mark this back off. And I'm going to try to find my guideline again. Right here. Take it all the way back. His hair is a little heavy right here, so I'm going to grab some of this bang. Hit some of that corner. Again, I'm going to take a little bit more here. Mark the rest off. Point cutting. I'm going to come up, grab some of this, knock it down, blend it into the sides of his hair. It's a lot thicker right here, so I'm just going to kind of point cut just a little bit into that thicker part of that bang. Kind of even it up just a little bit. Sorry, Dad. Okay, want a couple more. Come over here now. Take off a lot of this heaviness. Take off that heaviness. Kind of blend it in back here. I'm going to pull straight up real quick. Just see if there's any hairs kind of, yep. Okay, last but not least, this last little bit. And I'm going to actually kind of use that piece to kind of blend in to the back part of this cut. Again, we have to be careful. His hair is nice and fine. It kind of wants to wisp around on us, so just keeping everything nice in control. Hitting those ends. Hitting those ends. Blending it to the side. Finding those corners that are going to make it long and not blend well. And he likes his hair just a little bit, kind of pushed forward a little bit. So let's honor that. Blending this in a little bit more. You notice his hair is just a little dark right here, so I bet there's some weight that I could take out. Let's take a little bit more weight. Awesome. Come back over here. It's all about the small little detail work, guys. Like as much little details you could put into your cuts, your money goes up, opportunity to retain clients goes up, it all goes up. So let's go ahead. Keep working around. He's a 360-degree head, so it's nice to kind of use all the angles that you can to really create something nice for him. Awesome, guys. Okay, so we could always go back, but I feel as though what he walked in with what he has now, it's looking good and looking way more presentable for Easter and these weddings. And I, as a person, as a stylist, no matter if he's my dad or not, I'm feeling pretty confident with this look. So let's go ahead and just do a couple more little snips. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. Okay, game changer time. We get to work on the beard. So goal is to look like ZZ Top. Let's go ahead and blow him off real quick. Okay, so I'm going to start freehanding a lot of this at first. So I think with the beard, we want his face to look skinnier. Right now, it's nice and pinched in, and all of a sudden, whoop, pokes out. So I really just want to kind of clean all this up, and we're going to keep a lot of this energy down, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use these are some of my favorite trimmers, just because they do so much. So I'm going to sit in front of him, and I'm going to start dwindling this haircut down a little bit, just naturally. So I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to just slowly start dwindling down. Keeping the length on the sides. Just creating a shape. To me, kind of talking about how to do beards is kind of harder, because I feel like there's just so much freehand work that we need to do to really make this look good. And that's kind of like when I have a clipper in my hand, oh, it's a 4-guard, it's a 2-guard. But when you do something like this, might be look down. It's just a lot different. So I'm gonna take some of this weight down around his cheeks. Always pushing that hair out of the way. Whatever you do to one side, let's go do to the other. It's all about using that angle of that trimmer to get your desired results. Kind of go back and forth, back and forth. Always have a touch on him. I'm always touching him in some way. In case, this is pretty, there's no guard on this. It's a pretty important part of his look. And so I need to have a slight control on him. So when I mean that's what a touch, just a simple touch of the shoulder, of the knee, of the head, really kind of puts him in a trance-like state, knowing they really shouldn't be moving right now. But more importantly, if he does move, I could feel him. We're gonna look all the way down. Just slowly dwindling this down. Back and forth, back and forth. It's important. I always like to work right in front of them so I can kind of see exactly where I'm at. ZZ Top's beard is kind of squared off a little bit. It's nice and long. Has a nice little kind of maybe a little beveled look at the very end of this. So that's what I'm going to try to create for my dad. Back and forth. Creating a nice clean shape. Okay, he wants to keep as long as possible, so I'm going to find just kind of where it is the thickest. Create that little bevelness real quick at the bottom. Now what I like to do is I'm going to kind of come up behind. Let's blow them off real quick. I'm going to kind of come behind him real quick and just kind of look down. Hair is going to start showcasing itself a little bit more. Got my tippy toes here. I usually put their head right on my chest so they don't move. Again, there's a lot of freehand work. I kind of like it. To be honest with you, this is a pretty unique way of shaping something up, almost like we're kind of like ice sculptors or using a chainsaw on a log to make an eagle, like this is a pretty unique way. But more importantly, like if he moves or if I accidentally slip, it's bad news for both of us. So, I really want to be kind of focused, hyper-focused when I'm doing something like this. Kind of clean up that flavor saver a little bit more. Again, whatever you do to one side, it's just so important to go right ahead and do to the other side. We'll blow them off again. I'm gonna add a little bit of air control, just so I can kind of start stapling down this beard a little bit more, kind of see where we're at. Let's get all this loose hair off of them. And just look how much, we thought it looked really clean, right? But look how there's so many pieces here, so it's important to keep going. So now we're gonna kind of start all over again, guys. So I'm gonna come back over here. Nope, you're good. You look down for me. Right there. And I'm gonna go back. And just slowly dwindle this down. Again, I'm not trying to take too much length off. I just want a nice shape for my dad. Find that line. Now I'm gonna put that down. I'm gonna get all my big 8.5-inch Torii Hanzos, and I'm again kind of put them back here, and I'm just going after wispy hairs, kind of getting that, it's kind of that are running away from the mold. So I'm just gonna be patient. Start dwindling this down, keeping length. Down, down, down. Straight on again. Down. Get out of your guys' way. Such a satisfying sound in my book. These are Torii Hanzo shears. I've had them for 7 years, 8 years. Just a great brand, great loyalty to them. They treat us so good, and they're worth every penny. So let's go ahead and start working on this mustache right now. I'm actually going to use some clipper work. I'm going to probably grab a 3 guard. Dad, will you tuck your lip like this? Yep. I'm going to kind of start by going down. These sound a little crazy. Let's grab the other pair. Oh, there we go. Sounds better. Those other ones need to be cleaned, it sounds like. So, again, 3 guard. Working this mustache out a little bit. That flavor saver. Okay, I'm going to jump on a 2 guard now, guys. Just hit that right by the top of that bottom of the lip. Corner. Corner. Tuck your lip. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to jump back on my trimmer. Tuck your lip, Dad. I'm going to go ahead and kind of get his nose hairs real quick. I like to kind of point the nose up a little bit. Get in there, get those nice and clean. Keep his, and now I'm going to push down. Push down. Now I'm going to go in normal. Kind of push up. Okay, relax. I'm going to kind of start carving out the side of this mustache. I'm going to tilt up. I'm going to clean up this line right here. Nope, relax, just relax. Just kind of opening up that lip a little bit. People could see him talking. Opens up for a little kiss for my niece. Not just so she's not just kissing mustache. Whatever you do to one side, we're gonna do to the other now. Tuck your lip. We'll go back in, clean up. Okay, relax. We'll carve out this mustache. We'll clean up this line. Clean up the lip. I'm gonna get straight on real quick just to look at him real quick. Make sure we're even. I'll go ahead and just kind of double check everything. No, just relax. Clean up this flavor saver. Let's blow them off again. I'm gonna do one more round of this technique right here. Kind of on my tippy toes. Almost done, guys. Thank you so much again for watching, for contributing. Again, I just hope that you guys learn at least just one thing per video. Mark Cuban reads a lot of books, and he says as long as you learn one thing from each book, it was worth the investment of the book. So that's just my goal here at the Art of Reduction, that you guys learn just one thing throughout the whole haircut. that you might be able to add to your position behind the chair or at the shop and really kind of create something special for you and your clients. I'm gonna kind of blow them off real quick. Get all that moisture out of his hair. Okay, today I'm going to use a new product, or not, I haven't used it here yet, but it's called Quicksand by Hans de Foucault. So I'm going to get a little bit of this nice gritty, kind of soft product. He has soft hair, so it's kind of my rule of thumb is kind of use a product that resembles their hair. So if they're using kind of a soft hair, it's probably smart to use a soft product. I'm going to use the same product in his beard. Sorry. I'm going to comb this product into it a little bit. Always make an exterior show with the product. Straight down. Once that product's in, I like to do one more last cut into the beard. Kind of the product shows all the flaws. And most importantly, I kind of like to take the cape off and kind of cut just naturally real quick. I know it might get a little product on their shirt, but I could blow that off here in a second. And most of the time, I'm just going to use my scissors. So I just want to kind of get this and just do one more round. Down. Thank you again so much for watching The Art of Reduction. I'm going to finish this haircut off with just a little bit of hairspray to kind of set this in shape. And again, just enjoy the eclipse coming on April 8th. Have a great Easter. And please keep looking forward to some new content coming out very soon. Can't thank you enough, Malone Media and here at Trailway Studios for always treating us so well and kindly. And here you guys go. Here's my dad's haircut for Easter and for the weddings we're coming up. And again, thank you so much for watching The Art of Reduction. We hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Dad, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Have a good day, guys. Thank you.